Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza here at the Hatfield Public Library, and I have a box of adult fiction and nonfiction, but I am going to start out with 3 DVDs, starting with George and Tammy, starring Jessica Chastain and Michael Shannon. And this is the story of country music power couple Tammy Wynette and George Jones. We have The Innocent. It got 11 César Award nominations, and this is trying to think because it seems like it might be from another country. Oh, French, and it's part crime thriller, part romantic comedy. And I think a lot of people have already heard of this, Succession. This is the fourth and final season. I feel like I heard so many people talking about this that I really want to watch it someday, but I haven't gotten to it yet. On to books. We have a new book by Heather Morris, Sisters Under the Rising Sun. She wrote The Tattooist of Auschwitz. And this also takes place during World War II. An English musician is trying to keep her daughter safe from the Japanese army, but she remains to care for her elderly parents. Oh, yeah. So this actually looks like there's a couple different characters in this one. Takes place on sort of the Japanese side of things. Sophie Kinsella, The Burnout, very fun. Her books are always so fun. She has a couple of them. I can't remember years ago. I just remember laughing so hard. So this one is about a woman who is very, very over her job. She's goes on vacation. She's gonna try yoga and smoothies, but then the vacation is a mess, and there's only one other person at the resort, a grumpy guy named Finn. Maybe Finn could be a love interest. The Museum of Failures by Thrity Umrigar, another author who I've always really wanted to read but haven't quite gotten to yet. So she wrote Honor, which was a Reese's book club pick, and so this says a man left India for the U.S. with a lot of resentment towards his mother, and then he returns to Bombay to adopt a baby and ends up seeing his mother again in the hospital. Sounds like a family saga. Alix Harrow, the Starling House, and this is a current Reese's book club pick, and I read an Alix Harrow book. Which one I can? But I can't. I'm very sure I did, but it's not listed here. Maybe I read like a novella or a short story, but it was very fun. Sort of fantasy, but like a very modern, contemporary feeling fantasy. Um, uh, yeah, so it takes place in the contemporary United States. And it's about a woman who's obsessed with something called the Underland, which I think must be a series of books. And then she gets a chance to go and visit, I think, the author. Christmas book, The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman. And this is all about adults who don't really have like a family to go to. I think that's why they're called Christmas orphans. And so they end up together. More Christmas, A December to Remember by Jenny Bayliss, author of The 12 Days of Christmas and Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. A newer author, but one of the most popular ones for the Christmas books. I looked at all my statistics for the Christmas books, and she was right up top. The Xmas Holidays by Zoe Allison, 3 in a row. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this is about exes spending Christmas together. Yes, they have to work together. I like the touch of the skis in the X. Oh, and it takes place in the Scottish Highlands. So bing, 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 yay, Scottish Highlands. Another Christmas book, Mary Kay Andrews, Bright Lights, Big Christmas. Another one who's very popular when it comes to the Christmas books. Okay, so they're selling Christmas trees on a roadside stand in her. Wow, there's a lot going on. Yeah, yeah. Basically, there's a small town girl working in the big city selling Christmas trees. Robert Dugoni, One Last Kill, a popular thriller author, looking into a cold case of a serial killer. Nelson DeMille, writing with Alix DeMille, Bloodlines, another thriller. This one, I think, with a more political side to it. Vince Flynn. Look, we got all the Christmas books, and now we're going through all the thrillers. Code Red, and this is a Mitch Rapp novel. And even though it says Vince Flynn on top, written by Kyle Mills. Danielle Steele. Danielle Steele is written, I think I saw that she's releasing 7 books this year, which is amazing because she is not a young woman. And if you go on her website, she is adamant that she writes every single word herself. Very impressive. All You Have to Do Is Call. This is by Carrie Maher. Blurbed by Kate Quinn. Chicago, early 1970s. Okay, so it's a secret in the city that there's a organization that helps women call. I think it's called Call Jane, where you can call and get a safe illegal abortion, and this is based on the true story. Ragnar Jonasson and Katrin Jakobsdottir, and it's Reykjavik. I should be able to pronounce these words because I just barely listened to this on audiobook. It was very interesting. It had lots of interesting facts about Iceland, and I did not know while I was listening to the story that Katrin Jakobsdottir is actually, I think, the prime minister of Iceland. So this is kind of like when like Hillary Clinton wrote a book with Louise Penny. Paulette, Jiles, Shanesville, and a novel of murder, loss, and vengeance, and takes place during the Civil War about a Union soldier who's injured. Um, then the war is over, but he's lost his family, and he's traveling through Reconstruction. So starts out in the Civil War, but it sounds like it's more about Reconstruction. Jesmyn Ward, Let Us Descend. And it's a reimagining of American slavery, beautifully rendered and heart-wrenching. Um, so it's the sounds like the characters are okay. So the main character is an enslaved person who part of the narrative is about what happens to her, and then part of the narrative is about her memories of her mother and her grandmother in Africa. The Sunset Years of Agnes Sharp by Leonie Swann. It's translated from German by Amy Bojang. I always feel like it's a good sign when a book is translated because you know someone really liked it. Um, and also the blurb says a deliriously clever plot. So it's a mystery about the inhabitants of Sunset Hall, which I'm guessing is like a old person's home, and then there's a visit from the police with shocking news: a body has been discovered next door, and they decide they need to find the murderer themselves. Patterson, James Patterson, and Mike Lupica, 12 Months to Live. Jane Smith is an ex-cop, an undefeated defense attorney. She has a year to live unless they kill her first. I like that they say 12 months to live, and then in the blurb, just in case you're not sure that 12 months, it's like it's a year. No, new book by Kate Atkinson. Normal Rules Don't Apply, and this is stories. I've never read a book of her stories, but I love her novels, and I also kind of love this cover. Last of all, one more Christmas book somehow got separated from the other Christmas books. This is The 12 Months of Christmas by Sheila Roberts. And I, It's about three women who are all having different but terrible Christmases. And this Christmas season is a bust. And so they decide to do a do-over each month of the year. That sounds like a lot of work. And I guess maybe they just keep trying because it doesn't work. But eventually, I'm sure it works. That was it. That was my whole entire box. I will be back soon with more. Bye.